And we're rolling.
All right.
Where in this love again?
Hey everybody, David Barrett here with Doug Shepard, and this is an episode of Music, Movies, and Movie Music, the podcast on YouTube where we talk about a deep dive into movies and music.
Yeah.
So Doug is from Southern California, now lives in Redding, and he's seen so many great shows. This guy's into everything from Devo to Oingo Boingo to the Germs.
Yeah.
Black Flag,
yeah.
Circle
Keith
Jerks,
Morris, yeah, all that.
Keith Morris.
Yeah.
So where do we start here? I mean, what shows did you attend in Southern California, SoCal?
Oh, well, we used to have this place in Pomona called Toxic Shock. It was
Okay.
And then the 1-2XU. I grew up with the guys in Pillsbury Hardcore, you know. Shout out to those guys. So we used to have shows where we saw DRI and Star Craving Mad, and we saw the Minutemen, you know, remember the Minutemen?
Yeah, for sure.
With D. Boone. And then...
And the Meatmen, too, where the Meatmen and you saw... Yeah. Tulipanus, that's you, Tulipanus. No, boo. Remember that?
Yeah.
But the Pillsbury, what'd you say?
Pillsbury Hardcore. Yeah,
Okay.
we went to high school with two of the guys there.
Wow.
They were my age, and then the other guys were older, and they worked at Toxic Shock.
So what year was this when this punk rock scene was going? Was this like 82,
82
early,
to
right?
86.
Wow.
Pretty much was the years I was in it. We'd go down to Fenders. And
We're
we'd
not
see
talking
bands,
about where
7
punk rock
seconds.
ended up going, this pop punk.
Yeah.
Green Day, Blink-182. This was like
7 seconds when they were doing
real hardcore and
Yeah.
punk rock. I mean, like the roots, man, for American punk rock, you know, like we were saying, Black Flag, Circle Jerks, the Germs.
Yeah. the Jerks.
Speaking of Germs, the film they ended up doing with Shane West and
What we do is secret.
what'd you think of that movie? Because here this is about punk. I mean, we're about music and movies, and when it crosses over to where a band does a movie about a band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Doors, they did a movie about CBGBs.
Oh yeah.
Alan Rickman's last movie. So what do you think of being a big fan of the Germs when they did this?
I thought they did a
what we
great
do is
job
secret.
on You know.
Bijou Phillips is in there. Shane West. Later on, they ended up basically getting the band together. It was Don Bowles on drums, Lorna Doom on bass, and Pat Smear, who went on to do Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Yeah. What a
They were all in the
career he had.
Germs, and then the actor who played Darby Crash, Shane West, ended up taking on the name Shane Wreck, and they went to do shows together, and I met all of the Germs, which was really cool.
That's
all the surviving members of the Germs,
Yeah.
you know, and
awesome.
but what a movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know that Darby was born, you know, 1 September 26th, and I was born September 25th, exactly 10 years apart.
holy cow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that is, and you know, in case you've been living under a rock in the Germs, I mean, they were out for a short amount of time, but they influenced so many bands, from the Go-Go's to
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
You know, and Doug's a big fan of X and
X-Scene, yeah.
X-Scene and John Doe. You know,
Yeah.
I ended up meeting both of them, and this is all stuff that Doug grew up around in his life, growing up
Around
in Southern
Pomona,
California,
yeah.
around Pomona, and yeah. So, what about your influences with Oingo Boingo and Devo? How did that come about?
Oh
Because
my gosh.
there's punk rock influences, but a lot of weird, weirdo and keyboard synth
I
stuff
love
with punk
keyboards,
rock. You
yeah.
know?
Well, the Doors, you know? I mean,
Okay,
the Doors have
yeah.
great.
Yep, so keep going. The Doors, yeah.
The Doors had a lot of keyboards with, you know, Ray, and then Devo. When I first heard Devo, I'm like, what the? This is wild, you know, these red flower pops and whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And everybody says with it that there's so much more to Devo than that, you know. There's Boogie Boy, and there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And Mark Mother, you know, they got started in college, and their dad was in their first Devo video, Mark Mothersbaugh's dad. And then I think Bob One passed away, but they still play. You know, and then Oingo Boingo, I saw them at Irvine Meadows. I saw them at Cal Poly Pomona back in 1985, and somebody threw an egg at Danny Elfman, and he's like, "Who threw that egg?" It's like, how would you like it if I threw it?
Yeah, so he, you know, after Oingo Boingo disbanded, many of you may or may not know that Danny Elfman went on to do so many great composing and soundtrack for mostly Tim Burton movies, not limited to that.
Yeah, he did the Simpsons stuff.
Yeah,
too.
There you go. So he's branched out a lot, and what a career that man's had. I mean, you know, he's so talented. And I love the movie Forbidden Zone. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen it.
It's so good. It's Danny and his brother Richard who directs it, and
Richard.
it's a really bizarre movie. It's got Hervé from Fantasy Island.
Oh, he's in it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that sometime. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So for all these who've seen it, you know how it's probably one of the weirdest, craziest movies ever. But yeah, I mean, what other, any other highlights that you saw of, like, say, bands, clubs that you went to? Again, this is back in the 80s, or anything you've seen recently of music related stuff.
Mannequin Planet.
Yeah, just last night he rocked the stage with us.
That was fun.
In Oakland. Mannequin Planet and Doug Shepard for comedy, and Mannequin Planet for weird industrial robotic mannequin fashion movie band. So well, Doug's really into a lot of movies. We quote a lot of lines from a movie called Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Another movie, Cool Hand Luke.
I love
what else? Yeah, so what other movies can you get into that influence you? Because again, this movie's about this show's about movies and music, and what films?
I gotta say this.
Falling Down. What else do you like?
Well, my dad, my first concert, my first band I saw was my dad took me to Beetlemania in 1981, and that was wonderful.
Wow.
In Pasadena. But
so this was a Beatles cover band, right?
Yeah, and they were great.
Beetlemania.
You know? And they
look like
years.
it too. They
went through all the years.
Really?
You know,
Wow.
like Hard Day's Night to, you know, how they were, and yeah. And that was cool. Sgt. Pepper's, they had that stage with her dressed up like that.
Yeah.
And then Penny Lane. But no, as far as imitations, I love doing imitations and Falling Down. And what's crazy is they knew who the guy was at that surplus store last night, but they didn't know who What's-His-Face was, a fan. You play a good game, boy. Now the game is finished.
You talk about the movie Phantasm, which
with the
has quite a few sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Agnes Scrim.
Yeah.
Yeah. You play a good game, boy. Now the game is finished. Now you die.
Yeah.
He was a character. And then, of course, you got, come on, make your move, Barry. Come on. Make me. Come on, make your move. Make your move. Make your...
He's talking about the crazy surplus, the guy who owns the surplus store in Falling Down with Michael Douglas and Robert Duvall.
We're the same. We're not the same. You're crazy.
I reserve the right.
So take a hike.
Huh? Okay.
Or what about...
What we've got here is a failure to communicate. So you get what we had here last week, which is the way he wants it. Well, he gets it. And I don't like it any more than you do.
Cool Hand Luke with the great Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, because I was late seeing this movie, Cool Hand Luke, but I'll tell you, I could see what all the hype was about it, because it was an amazing movie, an amazing story, great character acting, a fantastic role by Paul Newman and all the supporting players.
That was.
And what other movies have inspired you over the years?
Marty.
Yeah, he does a good Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
my friend has a shirt that says, "Marty, whatever you do, don't go to 2020."
Oh, nice. Yeah, so what other films inspire you?
Well, oh gosh, I like. You know, one of my favorites is Ricochet. And
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow is one of my favorite, if not my favorite actor.
You know why I like John Lithgow so much? He's one of the few actors that can do pure comedy, like Third Rock from the Sun. But then in Ricochet,
he was
and Cliffhanger with Stallone, he could scare the living shit out of you, man.
Well, we don't need you anymore, do we?
Yeah.
That one soccer player,
Isn't it amazing how he can go from being the funniest guy on the planet to being the and remember when he played that dual role in it was a psychological thriller where he played a split personality type, and I'm telling you, this guy,
where he's a Norwegian guy, and he's like at the hotel and it's raining, and he's like talking. Or how about
John Lithgow? I'm glad you brought him up because I think he's a very underrated actor.
Oh, totally.
I mean, he is like pure comedy, but then he can turn around and just play the heavy bad guy, like in Cliffhanger, Ricochet.
With John Landis when they did the Twilight Zone, when they did it in 1983, and he played the role as William Shatner on the night.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And he looked like he was literally going insane. Probably how I would be on a plane, you know. There's a man on the wing of the plane.
Right. I'm trying to think of this movie that he did. It was anyway, look up John Lithgow.
He was even in Dexter.
Okay.
Did you see him? He was in Dexter. Yeah, he played a crazy. With the ding ding, with the train.
Wow. Yeah, he's quite, like I said, there's not many actors that could run the gamut on pure comedy, like I said, Third Rock from the Sun, to being like this split personality psycho and Ricochet.
From Disney to insane, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So he's one of the inspiration. I like Cliff Robertson. You know, I got to meet Kevin McCarthy from the Twilight Zone, where he was in the, Long Live Walter Jameson, where he was in the Civil War, and he's going to marry that professor's daughter. And how old are you? And he ends up like, well, that picture was taken 100 years ago, and you had the same mole. Was your grandfather? He's like trying to hide the mole, but he had, he was, what is it, immoral? He met a alchemist, and he got, how can you live through all this stuff? And some people are lucky that way. Some people never visit a hospital or break a bone. This whole thing. But yeah, there's a lot of Twilight Zone actors.
He ended up, one time I saw this autograph signing at, I think it was Borders Books or something down in Santa Monica, the Promenade. And John Lithgow was signing his children's book. Because he released a children's book, and I'm thinking, man, that's not the same guy who did Ricochet and Cliffhanger, right? And
I always wanted a Viking funeral.
Fantastic.
Crazy, but yeah, those are some inspirations.
Yeah, so cool, man. Anything you want to add? So, again, this is about movies and music, so deep dive.
Yeah.
You know, we covered a lot from your early years of being influenced by punk rock to this Beatles tribute thing you saw with your dad, and some good movies. John Lithgow being a quite fine standout actor who I really would hope to meet in my lifetime because he's wonderful, and
John Carpenter's going to be down in August.
In Long Beach, where John Carpenter and David Arquette are going to be part of this thing called Midsummer Scream, and it's a big horror-based, but not limited to, pop culture convention, Halloween horror convention, where, like I said, David Arquette, John Carpenter, who might not even be around much longer, but the man's getting up there. He's quite a legend, and hopefully we can bring back some stories from that one. That's a month away.
Hello, Amy.
So,
it's been a long time.
Oh, he does a great, I've met people from the Chucky movie. In fact, when I was at Sinister Creature Con, they had the little kid, Andy, grown up.
Right.
And the girl from Chucky 2, Child's Play 2.
The blonde?
The blonde girl, she was there
cool.
in Sacramento at Sinister Creature Con.
Oh, that's cool.
But do your Chucky.
Hello, Andy. You know, it's been a long time.
We'll always be friends to the end.
But Andy...
This is the end.
This is the end, friend.
How you doing?
We'll end it with that. I mean, this is the end, friend. So, another episode of Music, Movies, and Movie Music with my good friend Doug Shepard.
Yes, and Dave.
And really glad to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
This is a new show, and we're hoping to get more interviews with people.
He's got a lot of interviews, too.
Movie reviews. Really yeah, on my other show, Entertainment Getaway, that's where you can see a ton of interviews, but this one's a new podcast, and we do movie reviews, album reviews, but more importantly, sitting together with people, going over the music and movies that inspire them.
Yes.
So we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Well, cool, man.